What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Devontae, and if you couldn't tell from the basket already, today we're here at Costco. So today we're doing a little grocery haul just to show y'all some of the stuff that I get here at the store just to maintain a pretty lean physique. As we all know, health is wealth, so y'all got to make sure y'all good in the kitchen, but at the same time in the gym too, so y'all can make sure y'all seeing those results. My main thing is to make sure to maintain a healthier lifestyle, stay pretty lean, keep the body fat percentage pretty low, and overall enjoy this stuff. I want to make sure that the diet is not a diet. You know, you maintain this as a lifestyle. Let's get it. Teach y'all something. When y'all in the store, first thing you want to do when you get the basket, you gotta lean like this. Gotta lean like this. Can't walk regular. So we're gonna stop right here. So I like to get some of this stuff because it's a quick source of protein, and I just love fish. I love salmon. Yes, I'm one of them guys who like to just pick which one look better. I know they weigh the same, they the same stuff, but to each his own. We're going with this one. It just looked like it got more protein too, so. Now, another quick source of protein, guys, to get some steak, prime rib. There's a different type of steak, obviously. This has 28 grams of protein, 220 calories, not so bad. This is the one I usually get right here, y'all. The reason I get this over something like this, because obviously this is a fattier cut, it's gonna taste a little better. But the thing is, yes, it's a little less protein, it's 19 grams of protein. Calories though, it's 120 calories versus 220 calories. So you got to kind of pick and choose if you want a little bit more of that protein. If you're on a bulk, if you don't really mind those calories, I mind the calories right now. I'm trying to stay in that calorie deficit. So let's go with this. Got to get you some avocados. These are going to be for those salmon slices I was telling y'all about. Look at that. 93 lean, 7% fat. You want to go with the leanest meats, y'all. Leanest meats, 160 calories. You can't really beat that. How many grams of protein? 23 grams of protein, even more than the steak. Come on now. Now, mind y'all, if they come up and say something, y'all know what the deal is. We're going to go to Sam's. Now, you got to get you some eggs. And it's like a superfood, so you can't really go wrong with eggs. I don't know if I want to go with a lot of them. I mean, you got big batches like this. The thing is, I know I still have eggs at home, so I don't really need a big batch like this. So far, let's just go with these right here. Make sure you ain't no cracks. They look good to me. So I think we got most of the protein already. We got our turkey, we got some salmon slices, beef slices. Now we off the produce, we better go get some veggies. Usually I go with like green beans or like spinach. Spinach is my top choice because it digests well for me. When I eat broccoli and stuff like that, I kind of stay bloated and I think it's just my gut. But y'all let me know in the comments what's like the best veggie for y'all. I don't like the way this look. I'm gonna put this one back. You gotta be a little picky when you pick stuff out at the store. At least me, shit. This looks good enough. I mean, organic baby spinach. Let's go with this. So I heard kiwis are a superfood too as well. I don't really know the exact benefits of what kiwis does for you. I mean, I know they give you really good energy, helps you with your digestive systems. Something about the seeds. It's in the seeds. Y'all ever seen those videos, like the dinosaur videos? It's in the bone.
As you can see by the bones.
Something within the seeds, you know what I'm saying? So let's try it out. I get the everyday bagels just for the salmon slices to make a quick little lunch, snack, dinner. Then we got the organic sweet potato. So you can't really go wrong with these just because sweet potatoes are really good for your digestive system, especially if you're on a cut so you're not putting on too many calories and carbs from regular potatoes, rice, and stuff like that. So look at the price. I mean, you can't really beat that. Go ahead and pick out some sweet potatoes. Sweet taters. Now, I mean, we do got rice at home already, so I'm not really gonna go out the way to get some rice. I got a whole bag of rice. Y'all should always keep some rice on deck. Usually I eat jasmine rice, but obviously they got different types of rices out there, so go with what you go with.
Buy whatever the fuck you wanna buy.
Hey, no.
What y'all looking at? I ain't had no cake. Better mind your damn business.
Need assistance.
I don't need no assistance. I don't need no assistance.
1990.
Free?
Successful.
I'll be right back.
Find everything okay?
Yes, everything was great. Thank you. Moderation. Like I said, in moderation. It's a little hot out here. And people probably looking at me crazy like, why I got this jacket on, so I'm gonna take the jacket off. All right. Back to the whip, back to the whip. All right, y'all, so we pretty much got everything we needed here at Costco. I'm about to load up real quick. We do have to hit another store. In Texas, we had like HEB and stuff like that, but out here in Cali, we got Stater Bros, we got Ralph's and stuff. So about to hit those stores just to get a little bit more. Might bring y'all with me. Let's see if we'll make it there. But yeah, about to load up and get out of here.
A few moments later.
All right, y'all, so we made it to the second location. We went to Staters because Ralph's was a little too far. Like I said, I usually come here just to get the rest of the stuff that I need, just like this, like agave. I'll show y'all how to use this as far as like a little yogurt parfait that I like to put together. These are always pretty good, 20 grams of protein. Now, if you don't really like the tardiness of this, it has like a thick consistency, get the 15 grams. The 15 grams is just as good. I like the 20 grams, whatever, you can get what you want. All right, now they got all different type of granolas, but I usually like to get a granola that's a little sweet, so that way, like I said, it can kind of take care of that sweet tooth. Go with the Kodiak brand just to keep the protein high, fiber high at the same time, just to get those nice whole grains and stuff. Whenever I do want like a quick little snack, I feel like protein bars are really good. When you get a protein bar like this, though, you gotta watch what you're getting, because with the Gatorade ones, yes, it says 20 grams of protein, but please check the calories. The ratio doesn't add up. It's 360 calories versus 20 grams of protein. That's not good. It's not good. Let's see what else we got. 29 grams of sugar. I mean, I guess it's good for an athlete who's about to perform or whatnot, if he's needing some sugar or whatever. If you're trying to keep the body fat percentage low, can't really eat too much of these. These are kind of like a treat, if anything. So I do like to opt for these barbells. Now let me tell y'all, I've had so many different type of protein snacks, protein bars, chips and stuff like that, but honestly these barbells have been one of my favorite. Just to put y'all on a little bit, I really like the cookies and cream flavor, so we're gonna get a few of these just to get that deal. Don't want to go too crazy. Let's just get 4 for right now. They got all different type of flavors, as y'all can see. Chocolate chip cookie dough, they got cookies and caramel, but like I said, that cookies and cream flavor is where it's at. So now, food for thought, I always like to eat fruits that has like the word cherry in them or berry in them at the end. So cherries, berries, blueberries, strawberries, anything with berry in it, that's how you know it's a good fruit. Basically with this, I put a lot of my berries like in my sweet tooth or whatnot. So like I said, I'm gonna show y'all how to make that yogurt parfait, but this is pretty much it as far as like a little sweet tooth I like to have. Yogurts, fruits, put a little granola in there, put some agave just to make it a little bit sweeter. Now, if your diet's getting a little boring, you can always throw these in, make some like nachos and stuff like that, protein nachos. Or you just gotta watch what you're eating, but these are made out of like chickpeas and stuff like that. So watch the different sources of protein that you're putting in, but if you wanna switch it up, have some like finger food type stuff without worrying about like so much extra calories and stuff. Throw some cheese on this, you know, throw some ground beef. Have you some like protein style nachos if you don't just eat them by itself. Now, a lot of this stuff may look really appealing, but the thing is, they're frozen foods at the end of the day. You know, some of this stuff is packaged really nice and has great macros, so I'm not gonna hate on it too much. But if you can, try to go with more of the fresher produce and stuff like that, because stuff like this has so much sugar packed in just to keep it fresh when it's frozen. So just keep that in mind. Usually though, if I do want something pretty quick, if I'm just out on the run and stuff like that, I like to kind of get these Kevin steaks and stuff like that, just to kind of make it real quick. But like I said, you can't have too much of that. It just has too much sodium. Now, when it comes to stuff like sodas, or if you are gonna drink any juices or anything like that, try your best to opt for the diet stuff, because the thing is with this, it doesn't have that much sugar like the usual ones do to stack up those calories and just to stack up the sugar. So try to get these because it's 0 calories, no sugar. It's just way better for you. You know what I'm saying? So if you must have some of this stuff, dial it down a little bit, or go sugar-free. Can't go wrong. Now, when you look at things like sauces, try to go for the sugar-free options too as well, so that way you're not just adding extra empty calories to the food just to make it flavorful. You can still find some good flavor with stuff like sugar-free sauces or any other type of brand that you want, but what I really like to look for is like 10 calories. You can't really beat that. Low calorie, less dense, pretty much it has no sugar, so you can't really go wrong. Bullshit. We secured the bag, as y'all can see. I pretty much think we got everything we needed. Started off with some ground turkey. Like I said, it's a great option. Just make sure you go with the lean, 93, 7%. Keep the fat low. That way you can just eat more of it. Gotta have some type of beef steak in there. I didn't want to get regular steak for right now because I do have some already, but it's a quick little easy to go steak. spinach. This is my go-to veggie. The only reason I like this so much because it has a little bit of protein in it, as well as all the fiber that you need and calcium and stuff like that. So gotta have some spinach. Then we got some of our salmon, as y'all saw already. Great source of protein and omega-3, so we gotta have some of that. Sweet potatoes. Sweet taters. Again, sweet potatoes are like a superfood to me just because, like I said, when you are on a cut, you don't add so much of calories and starch that you get from regular potatoes and rice and stuff. So when you can, throw some sweet potatoes in your diet. Avocados. Then we got our granola, bagels, got a little bit of agave. Gotta have your yogurts. You can really go with whatever brand yogurt you want. Just try to do a high protein yogurt, sugar-free, if you can. Mixed berries, this is where you're gonna get your natural sugars from, so that way you ain't gotta worry about it. These barbells, take advantage of this. Quick little snack with extra protein. Just watch which type you get. You got some bacon. Try to opt for turkey bacon, beef bacon, something like that. Go low sodium, so that way you ain't gotta worry about too much salt. Last but not least, don't forget your eggs. Take advantage of it. I can eat eggs, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so just one of them foods. And that's pretty much it of what we got in the grocery haul, y'all. So yeah, I mean, for all this stuff, I mean, it was pretty affordable, I would say. I mean, all this stuff ran me a little over $100, and it's gonna last me for at least 2 to 3 weeks, if not more than that. You know what I'm saying? So these are those whole foods that I'm talking about, prioritizing your superfoods like your eggs, your kiwis, avocados, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? In moderation, you can have them cheat meals and stuff like that, so that way you can stay sane throughout a diet like this. But if y'all can see, I mean, it's not really a diet. I'm not gonna cook today or anything like that, but at the same time, I will show y'all some of the meals that I am having, so that way y'all can see that it's possible while eating some good stuff and flavoring it the way you want. I want to take a moment to talk about how to keep this as a balanced lifestyle in the kitchen, because like I said, hard to maintain diets never work. I can't stress that enough. What's the point of you going to the gym, busting your ass every day for you to come back, binge eat overnight, and mess up and erase all those results that you put in? Come on now. You gotta be better than that. Now, what I mean by that is you should always have your macros set up to where you can enjoy the foods you love, but at the same time not be able to suffer from the consequences of you losing definition or losing results or gaining a bunch of body fat just because you're eating some good stuff. Now, mind you, I tell my clients all the time, if you're out there eating burgers, pizzas, greasy foods all the time, every single day, stacking up ice cream and all that, and yeah, you're gonna start to gain some unnecessary weight, but it doesn't mean you can't have that food at all. Now, macros are broken down into 3 different categories: protein, carbs, and fats. Proteins are things like chicken, steak, fish, turkey, eggs. Even some veggies have sources of protein like spinach. Then you get to your carbs like your breads, rices, wheats, pastas, and stuff like that. And finally, you got fats, which are avocados, butters, oils, and sometimes even nuts. Now, for me, I'm focusing on maintenance, so I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of how you should drop your calories or how you should raise them. But for right now, let's just talk about how your plate overall should be in a general case. I like to go by a 40-30-30 rule, and my clients heard it all the time. 40% proteins, 30% carbs, 30% fats. So the reason I have it structured like this is because it's so easy for me to keep up with this every single day. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more meat and protein on my plate versus having fats and carbs just filling me up. Now, don't get me wrong, some stuff is good without protein. I understand that. But the thing is, with my goals and how I have things set up, my proteins just have to be a little bit higher, because as y'all know, the more protein you eat, the more muscle we're able to build and retain. And in return, our metabolism just speeds up to a point to where we can keep ourselves pretty lean while still packing on a good amount of muscle. I can't stress enough that you have to eat in order for you to maintain results. Now, I remember myself a long time ago trying to lose weight. I was the type of person to starve myself and to have like an apple a day just to lose a certain amount of weight, and it was a super aggressive cut. Now, aggressive cutting, that's something that you can do, like obviously what I did in my 30-day transformation. But the thing is, you don't stay on that aggressive cut, because obviously you start to lose a lot that comes with it. Muscle you put in the hard work for, but overall your happiness. Overall, for somebody who's not eating and they're trying to gain weight, that's gonna be pretty hard to do anyways. You sure already know you need to eat to gain weight. But at the same time, what if you're trying to lose weight, or what if you're trying to tone up or lose body fat? You still need to eat. The metabolism is smart. Your body's a smart mechanism to where it goes into the survival mode if you're not feeding it. Once you actually do take in that meal, your body starts to store it for the future. So instead of having all this extra energy stored in your body, put it to use, but at the same time, constantly feed the body, so that way you're putting in, burning out, putting in, burning out. I want your bodies to be like a V8 engine. I want y'all going from a V6 to a V8. Yes, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but what burns more gas, V6s or V8s? Obviously the V8. Basically, you want to be able to get your body to a point to where you're packing on a bunch of muscle, packing on a bunch of energy, being able to consume a lot of fuel and burn it off at the end of the day. If you have that V6 engine, yes, you're conserving a lot of energy, but at the same time, you're not burning as much as what you're putting in. You put that gas in there and it lasts a little longer, yes, but at the same time, that's not what we want for our body. Being that V8, we're able to consume that energy and burn it off as much as we can. In return, being able to put good fuel in your body and not trusting that your body's not gonna burn it off. Like some people with a slower or V6 metabolism. Let's get out of that mindset and just understand how to build that V8. But the only way to do that is by eating whole foods and keep your body fresh and healthy. Staying hydrated obviously is one of the main keys, if not another macro. Don't be walking around here dehydrated, not being able to work out, cramping all the time, and just feeling dried out because you're not drinking water. Also, don't drink your calories. There's a lot of juices out there, a lot of sugary drinks that sometimes you drink, not even notice you're racking up the calories when you're supposed to be in a calorie deficit anyways. So again, just make sure you're prioritizing whole foods and stay consistent with it. Now, supplements. Although I'm not gonna go over every single thing that I have in my stack, I just go over some of the stuff that I do take. And first off, I wanna talk about it not being a replacement for what you're having in your natural diet. You always gotta make sure you're prioritizing whole foods so you can make sure you're always getting the right nutrition that you need and never to replace them. They should just help you aid in the little percentages you're not getting on the daily. So one-a-days are definitely really good as far as a mint multivitamin, just to make sure you're getting those multivitamins you need throughout the day. Then you got your fish oil. So fish oils are obviously really good just to protect your bones, your heart, and your brain health. And then finally, creatine. Obviously, we talked about this in the very first video. Creatine is one of the most studied supplements out there in the game right now, so you can't really go wrong with this. Like I said, just make sure you're staying hydrated. You're drinking a lot of water when you're taking these supplements. That way your body's able to absorb everything it needs and flush it out at the same time. Now, eventually we'll get a little bit more into like what else I take within my stack and stuff like that, but that's pretty much it right now as far as the general idea of like how to take supplements. Obviously, you got your pre-workouts, fat burners and stuff like that, but we're not really going to talk about that because obviously some of that stuff is just optional. But then you have the biggest of them all, protein powder. Basically, you can't really go wrong with protein. It helps you build muscle, recover, build your strength. Now, again, I don't want y'all just taking 50 scoops a day and stuff and not really eating actual food. I like to have this as a quick snack or a quick post-workout, so that way I can make sure I'm hitting the right amount of protein every single day to sustain my results. Now in this tub, it's only 140 calories, 25 grams of protein each serving. You can't beat that. I mean, let's say if it's been a full day, I've had already 3 meals, but I'm at least 50 grams shy of my protein goal. You don't think I'm gonna put 2 scoops in a shaker real quick? Boom, 50 grams protein right down the hatch. Now, some people actually get into the argument of, oh, your body can't really absorb all that at once.
Cap.
Your body knows what it's doing, all right? So don't get caught into that. Just make sure you're hitting your protein and making sure your macros are adjusted to where they're supposed to be. Right before I have an event, do a quick photo shoot, or want to look as lean as possible, I go on a little aggressive cut, and basically what that is just dropping my carbs a little bit so that way I'm not having a lot of calories from the carbs, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really mind having my calories from my proteins and knowing I'm eating a little bit less on the calorie side and not being so worried about having those extra carbs being on my body, retaining a little bit extra water. So again, adjust your macros as needed. Right now I'm on a 40-30-30, but like I said, right before a shoot, right before I have an event coming up, or right before I want to look as lean as possible, I typically do 60 grams of protein, 30% fats, and 20% carbs. Adjust accordingly and just make sure it's something obtainable, something that you can eat throughout the day. Now, it's going to be some of y'all who tell me, I don't understand how you can keep up with that. I got to have my occasional ice cream. I got to have my cake. I got to have my sweets. I mean, I'm not telling you not to do that. You got to understand how to manage your sweet tooth. You got to understand how to do everything else that's going to help you maintain this diet so that way it's not a diet, if y'all get what I mean. Let's talk about cheat meals. Now, a cheat meal is very different than a cheat day. You can go all week and obviously obtain a lot of calories within one of those days and kind of put yourself back in progress. But the thing is, that's why I like to say cheat meal instead of the cheat day. Occasionally, I like to go out. It doesn't mean you can't go to your favorite restaurant and enjoy your meals and enjoy your sweets that you typically used to have. When I do go out, I just kind of be cautious with what I am getting. I still try to stay and abide by my percentages, but it's a cheat meal. Feel free to have what you want, get a little loose with it. Sometimes I like to get a little steak, some potatoes. Some people tell me, oh, that's not a cheat meal, but with the way they cook it, with all those butters and oils added to it, those calories are up there. So I will enjoy that as my cheat meal. And that's just how overall, I'm gonna get better results. It's a cheat meal to me. It tastes pretty good to me. I know I'm not eating that all the time on the daily, but I'm treating it as if. So why not? All right, y'all, that's it for today's video. I really appreciate y'all for stopping by if y'all made it this far. Thank y'all for coming along to the little grocery haul. And like I said, if y'all need a little bit more custom help, I know I didn't break everything down to the T. I do coaching. V1 training is always there for you. So feel free to DM, send a message out, send us an email so that way we can get you helped out and have those custom macros sent to you. I want to try to do at least 2 YouTube videos every single month. I'm pushing out weekly content though. So if y'all check out my Instagram, my TikTok and stuff like that, y'all gonna see little shorts and stuff that I'm doing on YouTube. And I'm putting a lot of effort into them. So I'm not the type of person to drop a lot of quantity instead of the quality. So till next time, I'm out.